Hello, welcome to Azure Cosmos DB. Today in this session, I will explain what is Azure Cosmos DB and what are the key benefits, and I'll explain about global data distribution with Azure Cosmos DB, and then we will go to the database, and then we will create a sample database, and we will create containers, and we will insert the data and do some queries on in Azure Cosmos DB. Okay, let's talk about Azure Cosmos DB definition. Azure Cosmos DB is Microsoft's globally distributed multimodal database service. With the click of button, Cosmos database enables you to elastically and independently scale throughput and storage across any number of Azure regions worldwide. We know Azure has a lot of regions all over the world, and each region has three availability zones, minimum three availability zones, and each availability zone has one or more data centers. Today's applications are required to be highly responsive and always online. So to achieve a low latency and high availability, so these applications need to be deployed in data centers that are close to their users. So there are users try to access this Cosmos all over the world. So to achieve low latency and high availability, so these applications need to be deployed in data centers that are close to their users. Cosmos DB provides comprehensive service level agreements, SLAs, for throughput. So SLA means Azure provides SLA. A lot of services Azure provides 99.99% and some services 99.95. So here Cosmos DB provides a comprehensive service level agreements, SLAs, for throughput and latency. So because Azure has all regions all over the world, so these data centers are close to their users. So we see a low latency and availability. A lot of data centers available all over the world. So Cosmos DB provides a high availability and consistency guarantees, something no other database service offers. Let's talk about key benefits of Azure Cosmos DB. Turnkey global distribution. Cosmos database allows you to add or remove any of the Azure regions to your Cosmos account anytime with just a click of button. Cosmos database will seamlessly replicate your data to all the regions associated with your Cosmos account while your application continues to be highly available. And next benefit, always on. Cosmos database also provides you with the ability to programmatically invoke the regional failover of your Cosmos account. This capability helps ensure that your application is designed to failover in the case of regional disaster. So here you can see a lot of other key benefits. Elastic scalability of throughput and storage worldwide. You can elastically scale up from thousands to hundreds of millions of requests around the globe. Next one, guaranteed low latency at 99% worldwide. Cosmos DB is highly available and it always gives SLA 99% of worldwide. Next one, precisely defined multiple consistency choices. When building globally distributed applications in Cosmos database, you no longer have to make extreme trade-offs between consistency, availability, latency, and throughput. And no schema or index management. keeping database schema and indexes in sync with an application schema is especially painful for globally distributed apps. So here in Cosmos DB, no schema or index management. So there are other key benefits to battle tested database service, secure by default, enterprise ready, significant TCO saving. Okay, let's go to next one. Let's talk about global data distribution with Azure Cosmos database. Here you can see in this video, here you can see in this picture how the data distribution with Azure Cosmos database. Here you can see in the picture the users browsing from mobile and web browser from the device through internet, and then here the traffic manager, what it does, it will direct to the closest data center. Example, if any user in Europe and if any user is browsing from Europe, then what traffic manager does, it will direct the user request to the closest data center. So here in this case, the user from Europe, and then it will direct to the closest one, North Europe. And then here how traffic manager distributes data all over the world, how it directs. So here you can see that in the picture, application gateway, and then here the web tier, middle tier, and then Azure Cosmos database. In short, if your application needs guaranteed fast response time anywhere in the world, if it's required to be always online and needs unlimited and elastic scalability of throughput and storage, you should build your application on Azure Cosmos database. And high availability with Azure Cosmos database. Azure has regions, more than 58 regions all over the world. Azure Cosmos database transparently replicates your data across all the regions associated with your Cosmos account. So you don't have to worry about, like, what if some disaster happens, what about your data? Your data is very safe with Azure. So, and Azure Cosmos database, here Azure Cosmos database transparently replicates your data across all the Azure regions associated with your Cosmos account. The data within Cosmos container is horizontally partitioned. So I will show you in the demo how to create a container and how the partition works. The next one, within each region, every partition is protected by a replica set with all the writes replicated and durably committed by a majority of replicas. And regional presence with Azure Cosmos database. Here in the diagram, you can see all the Azure regions what are available. On top of the slide, you can see it in the US, West US 2, West Central US, US government Arizona, US government Texas. And here you can see UAE, North, Europe, all over. Cosmos database is available in 5 distinct Azure cloud environments. One is Azure Public Cloud, which is available globally, so anyone can access. So it is available all over the world. Next one is Azure China 21 ViaNet. The China 21 ViaNet is available through a unique partnership between Microsoft and 21 ViaNet. So here the Microsoft Azure works with China 21 ViaNet in China. They are largest internet providers. China 21 ViaNet is largest internet providers in China. Next one, Azure Germany. Azure Germany provides services under a data trustee model, which ensures that customer data remains in Germany under the control of these systems international. And the next one is Azure Government is available in 4 regions in the United States. And the other one, Azure Government for Department of Defense is available 2 regions in US. Okay, so let's go to next one. So we will talk about these Azure Cosmos containers, how to create the database, sample database, and how to create the container, and how do we insert the data, and then how do we query in Cosmos database. And this is just getting started with SQL queries. So here, if you see it, right, Azure Cosmos database API accounts support querying items using structured query language as a JSON query language. So if you see that, like, it's in JSON format. So here in this picture, you can see that how when we query in Azure Cosmos database, we can see result like this, and we can insert the data like this. Okay, so let's go to Azure Cosmos Database Emulator, and let's create some sample containers. So now I'm in Azure Cosmos Database Emulator 2. So here you can see that quick start and new container. When you click new container, new database, you can create a new database. Under database, you can create a container, and then you can start inserting data. Okay, so let's create a new database. And let's give a name demo 1. So throughput, so if you pick 600 or 800, so Azure charges based on that. So I will just keep it 400 for now. Let's create a database ID demo 1. So I have a database available here. That's demo 1 we just created. So let's create a container under this database. So here in this, you see that 3 dots, just click on it and then click on new container. So now we need to give a name for this container. So I will call geography. Geography. Let's give geography, and then underneath under the geography, let's give a partition key, or we give a name and then code, then country. So what we're gonna do, we will enter a state name, code, and then country name. Let's click OK. So this is quick. So now our container is ready. If you see it here, you can refresh it always. And then if you want to check the logs, you can, here you can see 1040 successfully created container geography. And then 1030 we just created database demo 1. And let's just close this history, log history, and then you can expand this geography. Then here, if you click on items, you can pick a new SQL query. You can use that structured query language to query in Azure Cosmos database. So let's run a select query in this database. So 0 results. Right now, we don't have any data available in this container. So let's create a sample record in this container. You have to go to items. Now I need to click here, new item. So now I need to give a name, ID. Let's give a ID 1. And then so here we give ID 1. And then let me just copy and paste it. Here we just gave a name, New Mexico, and comma, and then code we just gave a name NM, country USA, and here you can see it save discard. If you don't want to insert this data, you can just discard it, or if you want to insert this data, you just hit save. So now we can see the data in this format. So when we query on this geographic container, we will see output in this format, in this JSON format. Let's close this one. Let's close everything. And then let's go to item, and then let's click on new SQL query. Now we are in new SQL query. Execute this query. So remember, we just inserted this data. ID equal 1 and name equal New Mexico and code equal NM and country USA. So this is how we query in Azure Cosmos database. So let's just insert one more record in this container. I'm going to click a new item, and then here I'll give a name. I will give number 2 as ID, comma, and then let's give another state. Just enter Florida, and then code, let's give then country USA. Now just save it here. Now you can see here on the bottom of the emulator tool, you can see the log history. Successfully created new item for container geography. So now we inserted 2 records. Now if we want to check the data, just click on items and then hit new SQL query and select star from this C container. Because we are in this container geography, let's execute this query. So you can see it. We inserted data, New Mexico, NM USA, that first record, and then second record is number 2 ID, Florida, FL code, and USA. This is how we insert data in Cosmos DB, and this is how we query in Cosmos database. So in case when you are inserting any data, if you are throwing error, you can also troubleshoot. I will show you how to do that one. Let's close this one. Let's go to item and click new item. And then let's give it comma. And then I will insert one more row, 3. Let's say Mississippi. And let's give in code MS and then country. Here I'll just enter a comma. When we have some errors in the code, and then here you cannot insert the data because we just put this extra comma. So let's delete this. Now you can see there are no errors. Now you can insert data number 3. And the same thing, you can go to items and click a new query and then execute this query. So now you can see all 3 records. This is how you can insert, and then I will show you how to insert data from the file. So if you have any JSON file, if you have any data coming in JSON format, so you can just upload that document and insert the data, and I will show you how to do that one. Here, if you see on my screen, I have a data in JSON format. I have 2 records. One is ID. I gave a name ID4 Delaware and code DL and then country, and then next one is Virginia. So I have this data in a JSON file. Then what we're gonna do in Azure Cosmos DB emulator tool, we will upload this data and insert, and then we will do the select, and then we will see all the file records. So now let's close this query one, item 1. Let's go to geography container and then items, and here you can see the upload item. Just click on it, and then here you can insert data only using JSON files. Remember, you can upload data in Cosmos database using JSON file. So here you can see select JSON files. Now I will pick this JSON file. So now I just uploaded that source file, which is in JSON format. And here you can just hit upload. Now here you can see that on my screen, file upload status, a file name Cosmos data source file, and status 2 items created and 0 errors. And here at bottom of the page you can also see it here, item creation summary for container geography, 2 items created and 0 errors. If you have any errors, then here you can track, you can check in this log history. Okay, let me close this one. So now we have 5 records. Now let's query on that container, execute query. We should see now 5 records. Here you can see that 1 to 5, New Mexico, and second record Florida, then third record Mississippi, and fourth record Delaware, then 5 record, fifth record Virginia. So this is how you upload, you insert data from the source file into Cosmos database. So if you have any questions regarding this Cosmos database or any other Azure services, you can email me. My email learningpathsolutions2020@outlook.com. Thank you.